Big edition of Humboldt All-Axess this week. We're covering all the bases, the mats, and of course the hardwood. Humboldt basketball is rolling. The Jacks red hot and heading into the conference tournament down at Pomona. The ladies, they picked up a bye with the 2-seed, winners of 8 straight. It's been over 10 years since they've done that. The men getting it done, the 3-seed in year 1 with DJ Broome, Mason Hatton. Media superstar joining us. We're talking some pitching and softball, plus finish up with Darrell on the singlet. Pleasure to be joined by head coach of the 20-win Cal Poly Humboldt Lumberjacks. Coach, that's a little milestone that I know is hard to achieve, doesn't happen often, so it's got to feel good for a multitude of reasons. We've talked about the win streaks, the recognition, the regional rankings, but what does 20 mean?
Well, in the coaching world, 20 is just kind of always a magic number to coaches. So obviously it's great to reach that number. I don't focus on that by any stretch of the imagination. It's great. It's just a testament to how hard the girls have worked this year. And just how focused they've been on really trying to become the best team we can. So the credit really all goes to them.
I could say there's a fine line between winning and losing, maybe not, but I mentioned this the other day when we were talking, it's wild, right? Like after that Dominguez Hills game, I don't know where your guys' head's at. And good news, I'm not a team, but I'm like, geez, maybe this team's not as good as I thought they were. And how do you answer? 8 straight wins. Oh, they're actually better than we thought. Just talk about riding that wave, the ups and downs, and then, you're kind of the jockey on that horse who's got to kind of get the most out of it.
Well, we did ride that wave, and the good thing about it was really just that weekend.
Right.
That was a terrible weekend, no question about it. And, I think, depending upon the character of your team at that moment, you can really go south.
Right.
Not necessarily throw in the towel, but you can really go south. And I think I mentioned to you that next Monday, I was really interested to see just what the spirit and what the energy was going to be like in that practice. And, the girls came out to practice and they were ready to go. And those are always really good signs, obviously, to a coach. And they've been that way all year, to be honest with you. Again, that's just a dedication by them and just a commitment to really continue to do what we got to do.
All right, how do you stay, or I guess keep that edge, right? Regardless of what happens this upcoming weekend and regionals, you had a great year. But I know you're not satisfied with that. So how do you not, reflect and, listen to yahoos like me and really, you've done the work, but now it's a chance to make it special?
Well, exactly right. We've done the work, but there's so much more work that we can still be done. And I can't believe how fast this season has actually gone, to be honest with you, because there's still so much more I believe that this team can do. And we've yet to, not even just a 40-minute, we've just yet to really play our best basketball consistently, in my opinion. So I feel fortunate. I'm thankful that I get to continue coaching this group. And obviously I want to take them as far as we can.
All right, with that said, you earned the bye. Congratulations on that. So you're going to play in the semifinals. Before we talk about the CC2A tournament, regional rankings aren't out yet when we record this. Regardless of what happens, do you think the resume is strong enough to get into the regionals?
That's always, debatable, I guess. But, I do look at teams that are ahead of us and the number of wins that we have on teams that are above us. The 2 of our wins, against a team who was ranked both times. So you can, really nitpick that. Obviously, we just want to take care of business this weekend so we don't have to be sitting here waiting to see if there's upsets and rely on somebody else. But do I think we have the resume? And since the conference play, we had some bad losses in the preseason in our non-conference games. That how much weight is that going to carry down the stretch? That's yet to be determined. All
right, you get a first round bye. How do you take advantage of that bye and make the most of it?
Well, obviously just the familiarity with both teams, playing both LA and Monterey Bay now, and we just have to stay focused on us. These next couple days of practice obviously aren't going to be on any opponent. It's just going to be still cleaning up things that we need to do. I shouldn't have to get these guys to be focused. This is conference tournament time, and we had a meeting last night and just kind of me explained to them because we only have 1 player on our team that's ever played in a conference tournament. So I just really kind of had to educate them on just what to expect this week and how to prepare mentally as well.
So I guess talk about that fine line of clearly what you guys were doing right during the regular season work, so not try to reinvent the wheel or put too much pressure on one game, because I mean, why change if it's not broken, right?
Absolutely, and even this last game, against San Marcos, the first half I thought was one of our better halves. I mean, we were really moving the ball well, and obviously any team is much better in that regard. But then we have these lulls. We didn't let it last as long this time, but we can't be giving up these big leads, and so that's why I say there's still so much that this team can do. But right now, our focus is on Friday, and it's one and done. So we got to put everything we got into that game.
Yeah, and a noon start, like it's kind of wild, right? Like get out of bed, have breakfast, and suit it up, and there's just, I mean, look. Not that you need the energy because it's a big game, but it is a lot more fun to play under the lights and, have some atmosphere, especially you're coming off a place like Lumberjack Arena, which was just live this past weekend.
Well, and that's definitely been, on the forefront of my mind is going from this type of environment here and the energy and the excitement and all of that, and there's probably going to be nobody at our game on Friday at 12 o'clock noon, and so we have to obviously bring that energy ourselves, and that's a challenge in itself, but we just... I'm going to have to do my best to try to get them going. And if, as a basketball player, if you can't get excited about these type of games, something's wrong as a whole. But you're right. The energy is going to be much, much less.
What's it like traveling with these girls? Obviously, you guys spend a lot of time on the road. How do you make the most of, those non-basketball moments to make it enjoyable? Because you guys are a family, too.
We are. And I will say this group has really made it enjoyable for me to travel. I do thoroughly enjoy being around them. They're a fun group. I think they've done a really good job of balancing knowing when to have fun, and then when we step in the gym, it's serious time, it's business time. And I think I don't always trust teams that they know how to handle that from a maturity standpoint, but I will say I think this group has done a great job of that.
20 wins. I think they've handled it pretty well. Coach, good luck this weekend. We'll see you at Pomona.
All right, thanks, JB.
Michelle Bento-Jackson, Humboldt All-Axess. Head coach for the Cal Poly Humboldt men, DJ Broome, joining us. Coach, another exciting weekend in Lumberjack Arena. I got a chance, and you do all the lifting. I don't do anything, but I've seen enough basketball around here, and as a lot of people are ready to bury you guys after the SoCal road trip, I say, hey, don't ever forget about the Lumberjacks and Lumberjack Arena. They're always a tough out, and you guys took care of business.
Yeah, we did a good job at home, basically this entire season. Obviously, the hiccup versus Merced, and then. Not being able to pull it out versus East Bay, but
taking them to overtime,
pushing them to the limit.
Yeah,
100%. So confident coming home. I was excited to play here, and hopefully did our job and built some momentum going into the tournament, and need to go play well this week to do what we need to do.
Yeah, it's funny. I think back to that Super Bowl Steve Young one, and he said, I'll take the monkey off my back. When you got the win Thursday against Monterey, did it kind of feel like a relief? Because you knew you'd punch your ticket. Going into the season, had you know you're in that spot, you would take it 1,000 times over. But obviously with the struggles at the end, it was kind of like, oh man, we gotta get this done.
Yeah, you knew you were just one game away, and you were confident, obviously, that was going to happen. I think Monterey game was big for a number of reasons. Obviously, they were in the 7th spot in the regional rankings. You completed a sweep versus them, so you take the tiebreaker, and then just to play well and beat a good team. Like I said, you build that confidence, obviously understand what it takes to get that done, and there's a chance you see them again sometime this week. So you're trying to send a message. You're trying to be playing good basketball going into the tournament. And obviously, we know in this conference anything can happen once you get there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this conference has been as wide open as I've ever seen in my 25 years covering Jacks ball. Okay, with that said, I thought the maturity of the team to get it done, you punched the ticket Thursday, and they didn't take the pedal off the metal and got it done. And you're like, we like to talk golf. They validated on Saturday. Just talking about getting that dub against San Marcos.
Yeah, no, I thought actually we had one of our better starts we've had all season.
Held them without a field goal for 15 minutes.
Yeah, made shots and defended, and obviously, a little bit of luck involved. They got some open shots that they missed, but I thought our intent and how aggressive and hard we were playing on the defensive end was huge. Obviously, Shaq came out and really set the tone for us, which when he does that, we're a really hard team to beat. So obviously a little bit of a letdown in the second half with a big lead that, you thought you were going to get up 24, whatever it is. But hold on, finish the job. Wayne does what he does at the end of the game, which, it seems so regular and it just is what it is at this point. I'm an idiot for giving anyone else the ball. But, you made a big shot and you finished the weekend and feel really good about where we're at.
I cracked up. I bumped into you on the way out of the arena, and you're like, you know, if Wayne wants to shoot threes the rest of the time, he doesn't have to wait till the last second.
Do not have to wait till the last one, but if you keep making that one, I mean, that works too. As long as we got more points on the board when the horn goes off, I'm pretty happy camera.
These stories, give me the ball, coach, give me the ball, or is it just, you know, he ends up with it, and obviously he's super confident in what he's doing?
Yeah, he's not very vocal, and he's gotten more and more comfortable as the season goes on, but he does have the give me the ball confidence. So obviously Rob came to a stop, ball ends up getting in his hand, and once he kind of starts his cadence with those dribbles, you know the ball's going up. So comfortable in situations, and you got to give a lot of credit to him. To be a big-time player in big spots is huge for us, and he's done it. I can't even count how many times this year.
Plenty of times, that's for sure, and we're always down for more. Okay, with that said, San Marcos, you've split with them. I imagine the scout isn't going to be reinventing the wheel. I mean, here you guys are. Very next game out, you're going to play the same team. Winner advances, the loser, season done. Yeah,
you hope it. You'll lean on kind of what you did at Chico. We'll watch our game and see some stuff we can clean up, take advantage of. Some areas we could be a lot better in, which there's a lot of them, as I've kind of skimmed through the game this morning before practice. And then you hope we come out and have a dominant performance. So what happened at Chico, obviously a neutral site. Get there, get comfortable, go a couple days early, which is nice. And then you just take it one game at a time. But feel good about the matchup. Got the seed we wanted, and like I said, I think when we're playing good basketball, we can beat anyone on our schedule.
Yeah, this conference, right? You've been around basketball many years. I mean, at all sorts of levels. I mean, really, obviously East Bay, okay, they separated themselves. Yeah. They were the best team this year, but you took them to double overtime. And then you look at the rest of the conference, and, I mean, you had a couple of games separating everybody, and I know it's cliche, but literally anybody on any good night could win. So that's got to give any team in this tournament, because East Bay's in, right? Like, they're going to the regional. They're probably hosting the regional no matter 100%. What happens. I mean, at some point, when you're fat, you're not hungry. Yeah, no. Everybody else knows that it's wide open and they got a chance to punch their ticket.
Yeah, and you don't want to leave it to chance. You have no idea what this deal is going to look like with the regional rankings and where everything falls. So the one automatic way in is to win 3 games in Pomona. And, like you said, that's everyone's goal coming in. East Bay and, I guess Dominguez Hills are probably the only two that probably feel really good about what happens regardless. So our goal is not to leave it up to chance.
Yeah, and I would love personally, obviously, to see another rematch against Dominguez Hills. That game was, it was awesome here, overtime, and then the 1-point falter, and clearly competitive. I think 2 teams that probably won't be exchanging Christmas cards.
Yeah, no, a lot of respect for what Becker's done and how good they have been year in and year out. Obviously, you got Sanders over here who was here last year, and just a good matchup. We feel really good about it. They're talented, they're physical, they're big, and we feel like we're the same thing. So, up 9 at their place with 1 minute and 40 seconds left, you would take that 10 times out of 10, and somehow we found a way to lose it. But probably better for us on the back end is, like you said, we'll be plenty hungry and ready to get some payback.
Coach, you're one in the book. Well, it's not in the books, but it is right here in Lumberjack Arena. Wanted to ask you about that, but we're out of time. I just want to thank you for, I think, behalf of myself and the fans, making it fun this year. Appreciate all your work.
Appreciate it.
All right, back after these messages. Pleasure to be joined by Mason Hatton of softball, but also a social media phenomenon. Get it done for the Jacks. Mason, thanks for finally stopping by and doing a little old school television.
Of course.
All right, tell us about what you've been doing with the Jacks and helping Drew Gorder out, and promoting the cause for athletics.
Every Wednesday, I do Wednesday's weekly lineup for the athletics Instagram page, and I just give a rundown of everything that we have going on this week on campus and off campus and on the road.
All right, so how did you get into that? Did just something Drew approach you? You're like, I'm gonna spread the gospel.
I took over this girl named Cassie's job at the beginning of the semester, and she had kind of dabbled in some of the videos that we were doing, and then Drew asked me if I wanted to do it, and I just kind of made it my own and made it a Wednesday's weekly thing.
And now we got to get you doing this regular on the show, but we can have that conversation afterwards. All right, let's talk about you, softball player, student athlete. That's kind of your main part of the resume. For you, talk about getting to Humboldt and why you wanted to be a Lumberjack.
My senior year, I was getting recruited by Coach Megan, and I took a visit up here, and I met Coach Megan, and I really liked her a lot and respected her as a coach and as someone who was recruiting me, and I got to see the campus, and it was really beautiful and looked like a good place, and I wanted to come here.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Tulare. It's like right in the middle of California, kind of by Fresno.
It's a little change of pace coming up. To
No,
the course,
100%,
so
yeah.
Enough buffer between mom and dad. You can always get in the car, but they can't just show up, right?
Right, 100%.
All right, now talk about being a pitcher. There's a long line of great pitchers for Humboldt, and I'm sure Coach, told you about that in the process, and what it means to, I want to say on the bump, but let's call it the rubber for the Lumberjacks.
As a pitcher, it's pretty hard just mentally and everything, and for me, I just kind of have to know that I have to have that confidence and be able to rely on my defense, and that's one thing that I really did this weekend, and I just had to know that my defense had my back to be able to get the outs. I just had to throw the ball.
Yeah, talk about that dynamic of being a pitcher, because here you are in a team sport, but it's almost like an individual sport too. Like, it's on you to not only get the ball across the plate, but try to make it unhittable, and if it does, make sure that it goes to someone who's going to produce an out for you.
Yeah, I think that for me, I just kind of have to not overthink it as much, because it's very easy to, and to put all that pressure on yourself. I just kind of have to take the pressure off and just go out there and do me, and know that I have practiced every day to get this done and that I can do it. And I know that I have a great team behind my back and great defense behind my back, and I know that they're going to get the job done. If I throw the ball and it gets hit, I know that they're going to get the out for me. So it's really just a comfortability thing, knowing that they're the best.
What was the biggest adjustment because you're a sophomore, right?
Yeah.
What has been the biggest adjustment to the collegiate level, and then what's that next step you feel you need to take?
I think for me, what was eye-opening is the hitters at this level are just so much more they break down everything that you do so much more, and you have to pay so much more attention to detail. They're always moving in the box, so I, as a pitcher, have to know where they're at in the box and if they're crowding the plate or if they're at the front or the back. And so there's a lot more communication that happens between me and my catcher. So going forward, I think that we're just going to keep that communication going, and in practice, focus on the little things and paying attention to detail.
All right, you guys went, so you get in the middle of the state. You went 3-2 down in Tracy last weekend, wrapping up what is the regular season. Just your thoughts on the weekend. You led the team in ERA, and San Francisco State's going to be here in no time for league play after you guys enjoy kind of a final weekend off. I'm sure Coach will have her thoughts on what a weekend off looks like. But with that said, where do you feel you guys are as a team, and what do you think about your chances heading into CC2A play?
This weekend we had a lot of growth. We turned it around and won out the rest of the tournament after we started with 2 losses and finished with 3 wins, and we grew a lot as a team, just especially this weekend, and we're all on the boat and we're ready to go into conference running. We're ready to get some wins against SF. Right now, we're all on the same page, and we're all working towards one common goal, and we're ready to go. We're ready to win games.
And I
in
imagine
conference.
one of these days, hopefully you guys actually play a home game too, which would
One of them. We'll see soon, hopefully.
I know, crazy you guys hosted the tournament, but in Tracy, doesn't sound like much of a home game. We'll talk to Coach about that too later. Okay, I always talk to Coach Bento-Jackson and Coach Broome about what's life like on the road. So softball, what are the road trips like when you guys, as teammates, when it's not softball? How do you guys pass the time? What's it like on the bus, the hotels, the camaraderie?
Right now, we just took vans down. We're singing in the vans, trying to pass time, telling old stories. Literally, we were talking about Netflix shows, literally anything. We try to pass the time. We don't do a lot of sleeping because there's so much singing in the vans.
Well, I was gonna say, because softball, there's so much that goes on in the dugout. Are you guys practicing, or is there any new material on what you want to, whether it's for a rally or a song or whatever it may be, or a little subtle way to talk some trash in the dugout?
Usually we do a good job. We talk trash to each other, not necessarily the other teams, because I feel like that's where you kind of get in trouble. But we are very on the fly. We have so many girls from different places, so everyone knows different cheers. And we have girls from Oregon, and we're we have never heard that ever in our lives. Please teach us it. And we teach each other the chants really quick, and then we just go into it. There's no really practice.
Okay, all right. Well, I tell you what. on the gram. Incorporate that for your followers and your fans, and we'll keep an eye out for you on the Lumberjack page. And enjoy the weekend off, and good luck with the CC2A upcoming season.
Thank you.
Mason Hatton right here, Humboldt All-Axess. Last, definitely not least, it is Darrell Nanpuya joining us here. Darrell, hey, congratulations on doing a great job on the mat last week and picking up a pair of victories. What were the keys to your success?
The keys to my success was like just getting to my offense early and like pushing the pace the whole time. And we've been working a lot at practice. Like we're going to Colorado, it's like higher elevation. So everybody's had like, they don't have the best gas tanks and stuff, so we've been working a lot on that. So I just trying to like push the pace and keep going the whole time. As soon as the whistle blows, just getting after it right away.
How much do you scout your opponent or know about your opponent before each match? Because obviously after the first round, things can, the chips can fall a lot of different directions.
And honestly, I don't like to do much scouting, because like I might be like, oh, this kid does this, so I'm just gonna back off, all that. I usually just like go in there with like a clear mind. Sometimes I like the best game plan has no game plan sometimes, so I just go in there and like kind of wrestle. But my coaches tell me sometimes like, okay, well this kid, he doesn't really like shoot at all. He's a defensive wrestler, so you gotta kind of move him around a little bit. I usually just let my coaches kind of like tell me what to do, and
your coach's dream.
Yeah, just gotta listen to my coaches and see what they say about it before I say anything in.
So how much adjusting are you doing on the fly? Obviously, it sounds like you like to, bring your game to the mat, and then, how quickly or how long does it take to figure out what kind of guy you're dealing with? Is it 10 seconds? Is it round two? It could be over by then, but do you have an idea of kind of how long it takes to realize, okay, this is what I got to execute to get through this?
Usually, like, it just all depends. Like, when you get on there, some people, when they get on the mat, they like to like feel each other out, not do much the first period. So sometimes it could be like the second period, they're like, all right, well, I kind of feel him out. I can see what he's doing now. But usually, like, we all know the kids because like it's in our region. We've all wrestled them once or twice and stuff. So I usually kind of know within the first, like, I'd say 30 seconds to a minute what I'm dealing with. And you kind of, sometimes a lot of wrestlers say you could tell on the handshake if they had a limp handshake or something, but I don't really have a good handshake, so I don't really know.
Fool them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, with that said, how different is it the second time you face someone opposed to the first time?
Second time, my coach always told me this. He said it's always harder to beat someone the second time. I do think that's true, because they adjust and they can see what you're doing differently and stuff. So, seeing your opponent twice is definitely like, you just gotta like, you know what you did last time and you gotta improve from that. So it's like, it's gonna be don't expect the same outcome or the result the second time. It's gonna, it might be harder, it might be easier, but just gotta be expecting to win, I guess, yeah.
All right, well, you're off to the altitude, Golden, Colorado. I know it for Coors, but you guys are going obviously for regional wrestling. What do you know about the competition? You know about the altitude, hence you guys have been working on the conditioning. What do you know about the guys you're gonna face, and what are you hoping to do while you're there?
Well, about the guys we face, like, I knew coming into this tournament, like, we are, like, our coaches told us stuff, like, we're in the toughest region in the Division II, so I knew coming in, like, it's going to be really tough, especially my weight class. We have, the national champion there, a couple of turning All-Americans, so I knew it was going to be pretty tough, and, but I knew it's anybody's game because, everybody beat everybody, and, like, in wrestling, anything could happen,
Right.
Everybody could get knocked off, so we all knew coming in, like, we all had tough brackets, and we all knew it was going to be tough, so we're just preparing really tough. We had a really hard week of practice. Coach Jim was pushing us a lot every day and stuff, so we knew coming in it was going to be tough, but we had had to go in there with a good mindset and just ready to wrestle.
So being in Colorado last week, I assume that helps going back. You know what to expect as far as the altitude is concerned. Obviously,
Yeah.
The difference now being the competition has stepped up.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Man, the first time we went there, like, it's definitely really hard to get used to the altitude. Like,
1,000%. Anybody who thinks it's a myth has never been, because there's less oxygen.
I thought I was like, oh, it ain't gonna be that bad. I live in the mountains back home. It's gonna be like it's gonna be like that too. But no, it was definitely, my lungs were burning. I was coughing a bit, so it took me like, I don't know, I still wasn't used to it, so it took me a while.
Well, great season, nonetheless, at regionals, which I know Coach was very excited about. So kudos to that. What was it like wrestling for Lenny and his brother? Because they've been great to get to know over the years, but what's it like for you to learn from those gentlemen?
It's just been an honor. It's like, I'm really glad I got to wrestle under them, especially with the last year, they taught me so much stuff. I've learned more from them in the past year than I have in the past, 5 years of just wrestling. They're legends in the sport. They know every single thing. They mastered almost every technique, and they have minds of their own. They're like geniuses. They're like wizards. I don't know. They definitely know what they're doing. They're good coaches to have, and it's an honor to wrestle under them.
Impressive, to say the least. If you could say a favorite thing about Lenny, or a thing you'll miss most about wrestling for him?
Definitely, I'd say I'm gonna miss Jim's jokes. He's a pretty funny guy. He likes to crack jokes, and Lenny's just always smiling around. And yeah, Lenny and Jim, I'm just gonna miss a lot about their, I don't know, I guess their humor. They're really nice guys. They're really good to talk to, and they can take jokes and they can put out jokes. I'm just gonna miss that. Good
That's
atmosphere.
one of the favorite things they said. Being around athletes all the time, wrestlers who are definitely the toughest, but also the most humble.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely.
What's the offseason look like for you? What's the first thing you do when you don't have to cut weight anymore?
Go right to the J, probably eat some cookies and stuff, all you can eat. I don't know. I haven't really stopped eating since
Heavyweight division, here he comes.
Yeah, I haven't stopped eating. Everyone's just gonna go up in weight. So I guess this off season I'm just gonna focus on the things that I can control, the things that I need to get better with, and definitely just eating, lifting, and having fun this off season,
Darrell, I love it. Congratulations on a great
Thank you.
season.
Appreciate it.
Another edition of Humboldt All-Axess in the books.